explains it. Somehow it muted the microphone. Shit. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Untitled Anarchist Seagull channel for our Friday and Saturday night stream. Been doing quite a lot this week. Just to update you, I've got a video coming out that I have to say is probably going to have the highest production values of any video I've actually ever made. Which admittedly isn't saying a whole lot, but it's saying a little. I've learned quite a lot in the making of this thing. It's about the significant style change in North Korean music videos and what that all might mean in context, if anything. So, I've basically finished at this point all the visual stuff except for the bits that I'm actually talking. And I'm hoping to release that sometime in the next couple of days. I'm doing that in English first, and then in Korean and Japanese, and possibly also a couple other languages. And with that... maybe start out with a little bit of rapid. Let me just make sure I can actually see chat. Поели утуки. И откуда? Я полагаю, и так знаю откуда. Okay. 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 Yeah, we got that d5 moving. That's always a good thing. This is not quite the way I was intending to, but let's see. Okay. Yeah, not giving you my rook. little bit later on, was thinking I happened to just come across something. Somebody shared it on Twitter, and it is just such off-the-hook bullshit that I felt I really do have to share this with somebody. Advertisements for right-wing children's books to help combat the epidemic of critical race theory, or what white supremacists think critical race theory is, which is basically anything that isn't just a complete lie about U.S. history. It's called the Tuttle Twins. Okay, we're still equal on material. Semi-open F file that you can to figure out the best way to open that up. Let's see if... Okay, that... I've calculated better things. Yes, that sucked. Okay, still got a queen and a bishop. My pawn structure in the center isn't bad. Although the knight that I was taking advantage of... See, fucking hell. I was waiting for that just so I could move on back to d5. But, obviously... Valieri seems to have realized that. Oh. Okay. Need to find a better diagonal for this bishop. Right now it's just bloody useless. Actually, isn't actually threatening either of these pawns, because my queen can take on both of them. Right now, this knight isn't a great worry. Oh god, that was dumb. That was a bad idea. Yes, okay, that's made in one, I think. GG. Okay, maybe try another one. That was ignominious. Chess base is getting sued? Okay. That's nice to have that E pawn drop down to E5 before I even put my knight on D5. It simplifies everything, as Bela Lugosi used to say in lots of really shitty movies. So anyway, you know, like sort of Dugin sounds a lot like Bela Lugosi, which is kind of unfortunate, really, when you think about it, because Bela Lugosi was a trade unionist, an anti-fascist. I believe he was a Kamo, and Dugin's fash. But they sound similar. The Phantom Creeps. Okay, come on, Bishop E6, please. Den Zinsstern hat het spul verletten. Du kannst over 68 Sekunden onsprach op de winst, meidje. Oh, come on, X2 Queens. I don't want to claim the win that way. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Castle. Really? Interesting idea there. I don't think that's necessarily the soundest approach. Let's... Oh, here you go, leaving the gaming. I guess X2 Queens just has a shitty connection at the moment. Oh shit! Okay, please don't notice that before I can use it. That's basically me winning a rook right there. This is why a knight on d5 is a dangerous thing. Come on. Oh. This isn't a dodgy connection. You realize that you just had... I'll give you another 30 seconds. I don't like winning that way. That's not to say that I'm going to take a draw. This is a clearly losing position at this point. Well, it isn't, though. It's X2 Queens' move. They could just move the queen someplace else. Almost any place else, except for... except for E1, really. Okay. I think I have waited long enough. I'm gonna claim the win. good game, even though I think that was a deliberate leaving of the... let it time out rather than resigning or playing on. I mean, which is silly because there are plenty of... This is so early in the game. That's the thing. I mean, I don't get... You know, I don't go in for the Mr. Scheibel school of thought on resignation. If you blunder a piece, especially early in the game, you've still got pretty good chances of recovering. In fact, the more pieces are still on the board, the better your chance of recovering for the most part. I have won from some horribly bad positions. I've blundered 2 major pieces and still actually come back for the win, because tactics are a thing that exist. I mean, I'll take a win if somebody resigns early because I took their rook, but I don't... I'd prefer to just play on. Because there's all sorts of things that can still happen. I mean, unless you're... You know... I mean, if you're playing Daniil Dubov, or, you know, or... You know, Anna Rudolph, you probably would not end up having anything happen. But most of the people you're gonna play, just play on. You will probably get an opportunity, and if you take it, then you can still get the win. Reaction fodder. Alright, okay, let's clear some of this stuff off. I did that already. Did that. Oh, I've got stuff I can recycle into videos here that I haven't even done yet. And take that off. And here we go. Here's the right-wing Tuttle twins. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna take a break from the chess and have a look at these Tuttle twins, the children's book that teach somebody's idea of freedom. Okay, and we start out with just pretty everyday scene and.
Stop it, Vlad. You know the rule.
Yes, here we go. Yeah, it started too early on me there. Yeah, I mean, we all know this. The younger sibling comes in wearing a Soviet army hat and uses a Russian accent to declare that he's seizing the means of production, as you do. And why exactly is that jar only say cookie? Like, is it made for one really, really huge misshapen cookie?
We must seize the means of production. Stop it, Vlad. You know the rule.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody's got the no communism sign in the kitchen, because okay, here's a right-wing meme I'd like to just kind of start. Communism comes from the same word root as communication. So a true anti-communist will not communicate, which means that right-wingers should just shut the fuck up in order to own the left. I'd like to see them run with that. I think I need to work a little bit on the timing, but that's the idea.
If you want to regulate something, go regulate the mess in your room. It seems...
Okay. That's not what he said, though. He didn't say regulate the means of production. He said seize them. See, and this is like, okay, this is just the typical interaction, really, between leftists and liberals. We say, the working class should control the means of production, and liberals say, okay, we'll talk about regulating them, and then they don't do that. Yeah, okay.
A big part about being a mom these days is helping your kids unlearn the crazy ideas they're exposed to in the world.
Okay, where was the episode of Peppa Pig where Peppa Pig comes out as a Marxist-Leninist? I don't remember that.
Oh, I just found out that if I run into the TV fast enough, I'll become a cartoon.
And see, that is totally the same thing as learning how capitalism works. I mean, it's just the same thing. Running into the TV and becoming a cartoon, I mean, it's the same thing as finding out how, surplus value is formed. Absolutely excellent analogy.
Nope, that will kill you. And it's not just normal kid stuff either. Now, my kids are being told by the media and even the school system that socialism is great.
What media is she watching exactly? I mean, well, that's right. This is the bullshit U.S. version of socialism. Sort of Caleb Maupin socialism, where it just means, kind of have a wealth tax and, maybe regulate some stuff. Fake-ass socialism, I guess. Where in... The fucking media in the U.S. couldn't even bring themselves to talk about the fact that the workplace was and is a major site of the spread of COVID. Because that would mean that maybe people should be paid to stay home so we can actually end this fucking pandemic, rather than having it flare up every time the ruling class decide to just sort of get rid of desperately necessary but totally inadequate measures to protect them, and then we're all supposed to be surprised when the thing that every fucking scientist predicted happens. Like, what media is she looking at that is saying that socialism is great?
Mama, if we just get rid of all these successful people...
Okay, what accent? Okay, what is he now supposed to be, Malatesta? What's his Italian accent?
We'll finally be happy.
No, honey, that just means we'll all be poor.
How do you feel? Okay, first of all, I'm kind of interested in this translation of Karl Marx that has that line about getting rid of all the successful people. But, so, what she's saying, her rejoinder is interesting, though, because the idea is that if you get rid of the rich people, then you're still broke. And that's not how that works. I mean, that's not how any of this works. I think maybe instead of having the right bullshit right-wing children's books, maybe she needs to actually kind of read a little bit about this so that she can at least rebut it well. Although, actually, I don't really want it to be well rebutted.
I want to teach my kids right, but it is so hard to find age-appropriate material to teach them about the principles of freedom.
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, you don't necessarily... I mean, the main place where you have the principles of freedom that these people are talking about is, like, 4chan shitposts. And the intellectual level of those shitposts may indeed be considered insulting, even condescending by many 8 to 12-year-olds.
The blocks are the supply, and when people want them, that's
that what Dad meant when he said you're too demanding?
Oh, wow, that's fucking cute. So, yeah. This is what we're up against here. I mean, a clever repartee like that.
Luckily, I now have the Tuttle Twins to help us. The Tuttle Twins is a series of books written for freedom-loving parents.
Okay, who the fuck is Connor Boyack? Let's find out what else this dickhead's been involved in. He's the president of the Libertas Institute. Okay, and who funds the Libertas Institute? Source Watch Libertas Institute. Okay. Oh, right. Libertas Institute sued Utah over donor disclosure legislation, so clearly these people have nothing to hide. This is, okay, in 2014, the Libertas Institute received 60 grand from the Donors Capital Fund and Donors Trust, funding groups with deep ties to the Koch brothers. Total revenue, not too much. An A5. Ryan Money, former trustee. Yeah, so, I mean, a shadowy right-wing think tank. I mean, if the head of a shadowy right-wing think tank doesn't have valuable stories to tell our children, I don't know who has. Oh, he's going to tell us about the law. The thing that the Libertas Institute didn't want to follow because it required them to tell us who their funding sources are.
They teach correct principles about free markets in clear and relatable stories. You know, clear and relatable, so opposite of socialists.
Okay, so you're saying that socialism is so prevalent, and yet it's unrelatable. But you think you're backsliding, and yet you think you're the relatable ones. Could it be that you're backsliding because people who are, like, getting broker and broker and broker and just being utterly thrown overboard can't really relate to the idea that rich people should be allowed to do whatever the fuck they want?
With over 2 million copies sold, these books are the best way to teach your child real-world topics not covered by most school curriculum.
Mom, I demand cookies. There's no more supply.
Oh? So if you have offspring...
Okay, so the idea is that if you know the words supply and demand, that somehow is gonna insulate you from understanding other things about how capitalism works? The miraculous pencil.
Then click the link and order the Tuttle Twins books today.
Oh, and the golden rule. Yeah, okay, the Koch brothers are great people to tell us about doing unto others. I mean, they're so keen on not having people know what they do unto others that they go to all sorts of lengths to avoid even acknowledging what they're funding. So the book about the law, I guess it's about how actually it's supposed to be that it's not for rich people. Well, I mean, we know it isn't, but that... Jesus. Oh, man, let's see what other bullshit these So in this, okay, the comments are not gonna lie. When I watched this whole thing, I thought it was supposed to be ironic. Me too, Sebastian. Me too. Твоему работодателю нравится антикоммунизм, потому что он наживается на твоем труде. Благородный пчеловод. Translated, your employer is all for anti-communism because he's living off of your work. Yes. Oh, they're getting a very nice bit of club, and they've only got 1,000 fucking subscribers. These dickheads. All that coke money, 60 grand, and well, 400 grand budget apparently. But they got 3 different. Yeah, they have a toddler book launch. Yeah, I mean, that's the age group you have to target in order to ensure that you don't have to deal with any kind of skepticism. Oh, 3 new Tuttle Twins books. How long is this? I haven't got a huge amount of time. Nominate your child to become a Tuttle Twins. Oh God, Tuttle Twins character.
And I'm the author of the Tuttle Twins children's books that teach young kids the important economic and civic and other ideas they're not getting in schools. And I'm excited you're taking a
I like how. I mean, this is Connor. This is the president of the Koch brothers Libertas Institute. Yeah. And I mean, he's so proud of his work for the Libertas Institute that he isn't acknowledging it apparently anywhere in this fucking YouTube channel dedicated to these crappy children's books.
producing the other books in our series. We've been able to draw in friends and people who want to
Draw in, that's a good word for it.
in order to memorialize or even immortalize them or their children as characters in our books. It's a ton of fun.
Immortalize. Oh wow, he has a very high opinion of the staying power of this shit.
Kids especially really love seeing themselves as a character in a book. And so I want to explain
Oh god, the kid has a fucking fedora on.
what exactly these books are. I'm a dad of young kids, and several years ago I tried to find books that would teach my children these important values.
Okay, see what he's doing here. This is like faux scuffed. Okay, yeah, like he's got the Blair Witch camera work going on here. It's kind of cutting off the top of his head. Real mom and pop right wing think tank energy. This is just just some guy who wanted to teach kids about freedom. So he doesn't have he has a big budget, but he doesn't see. Yeah, I mean, it says a lot because it's like I have basically no fucking budget for what I do. And I go to pretty great lengths teaching myself all sorts of shit in order to make my production values look tight. And he's going out of his way to make this shit look scuffed because he doesn't want anyone thinking about the money behind it.
The history of money, and what is law, and what is the golden rule, and what are free markets. And there was nothing. I went on Amazon one day trying to find books, and there's literally nothing. And so
Oh, yeah, wait. That's not what Amazon shows you when they don't find anything.
I teamed up with a buddy.
His search term there was children's books about freedom. Yeah, I have a feeling if you type in children's books about freedom, there's some shit will show up.
Elijah, who is our illustrator. He is one of the country's best illustrators.
He's one of the country's best illustrators? Like, I knew people in high school who drew better than this. I was just such unimaginative art. I draw better than that.
We're so lucky, and these drawings are just beautiful. More importantly, the kids learn
No, they fucking aren't.
a ton of information, and interestingly enough, the adults do as well. A lot of this stuff we didn't get in school. It's not really taught today or focused on, and these are the important underlying ideas of what makes our world work and why.
Well, See, you want to teach people about how how the world works. Then why is it that you don't want people to know where your foundation's money comes from? Your so-called institute. You know, there are countries like Britain, for example, where there are standards, there are rules about what name you can give an organization. Like if you call it an institute, it has to actually be some kind of actual serious, like, scholarly research going on, something kind of scientific or something like that. And then there are places like the US where anyone can call fucking anything an institute. I mean, this guy.
Economic and historical principles that are so important. We've now sold over 100,000 books.
God, I mean, yeah, very white, these kids, too.
Stuff out that we hear from so many parents who are so excited.
Wait, Jekyll Island? That's an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory I seem to remember. What the hell was the deal with Jekyll Island? The creation of the Federal Reserve. Okay, yes. Yes, I thought so. Yeah, so so they're teaching, there's at least probably one anti-Semitic conspiracy theory in there, because, I mean, what the hell are you going to be teaching the kids about Jekyll Island? I knew I'd heard that from Nazis. That Nazis were the ones talking about it. It's a name that sort of stands out because Jekyll and Hyde and shit. But, I mean, the one thing that has anything to do with anything this guy's talking about is that it played a small role in the creation of the Fed. And I'm guessing this guy... let's just make sure we can... Why am I guessing? Connor Black, Federal Reserve. What's he said about that? No, he is an end the Fed sort of dickhead. The biggest scam in history. There's a documentary available on Google Video called The Money Masters. Nothing anti-Semitic going on there, I'm sure. Oh, God. Okay, Connor Boyack. Oh, the money math. Okay, so one of the things he recommends in his thing. Let me pull this where you can see it. You gotta see this. This is Connor Boyack's blog, the head of the Libertasian, the guy who invented the fucking, the Tuttle twins. And, yeah, update. There's a documentary available on Google Video. Is this up there on the screen? On Google Video called The Money Masters, which discusses this. Now, if you Google The Money Masters... nation after... Okay, here's from their own blurb. It ends with, nation after nation, including America, has fallen prey to this cabal of international central bankers. Yes, it is, this is a fucking, like, straight up anti-Semitic documentary recommended by a guy getting money from the Koch brothers. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, okay, so, yeah. That's something you know.
That they've been able to provide them for their children, give their kids a leg up, because again, the schools aren't really helping out, and even if you're homeschooling, right? A lot of parents struggle to know how to teach this stuff. Some of the parents don't know it themselves, and so these books have played a huge role
Which is to say, oh wow, they found a family that isn't white.
in helping those families be able to have these important conversations about fundamental principles and ideas. And so this contest is an opportunity for you to very easily sign up one of your children, and you can do it multiple times.
Yeah, for an experience that they will be trying to live down for the rest of their fucking lives.
To become, hopefully, a character in our next book. We're going to pick 3 lucky children. It's such a
And the other one is the one who gets to be a character.
fun gift to give. Seeing these kids light up when they get to be inside one of our books is a ton of fun. So that's the Tuttle Twins books. Hope you'll sign up. It's super fun. Great gift to give. No obligation at all. Just give us your email, put in your kid's name, and
Yeah, I'm sure that giving your email to the head of a right-wing think tank run with shadowy coke money, yeah, that's totally not going to have any strings attached. There's no way that a guy who believes heavily in the idea that rich people shouldn't have it to follow any kind of rules would ever sell your fucking personal information.
we'll add you to the list.
God, that's like... Okay, let's see. Give your children a fun. What parents are saying about the Tuttle Twins. We'll do another one of these. Fuck it.
Hi, I'm Amanda, and I'm a mother of 3 kids. And what I love about the Tuttle Twins is how they
The creature from Jekyll Island. I wonder how many other... Wait. Road to Serfdom? Okay, that's a reference to something. What the fuck was Road to Serfdom? A book by Friedrich Hayek. Oh, God. Yeah, the guy who believes in that if his ideas don't match with reality, then reality is wrong. So this is the best quality we can get on this. 360p. Fuck that. Gotta be better. There we go.
be curious and ask lots of questions. Before we read them, my kids had little knowledge on the principles of liberty and economics.
And after that remained true, but they did know something about anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and right-wing economists who stand fascism.
The Tuttle Twins have given them a good face and piqued their interest in things I wouldn't have thought they'd be able to understand or
What, like the fucking international bankers conspiracy bullshit?
interested in. The Tuttle Twins have been awesome books for me to teach my kids.
Hi, my name is Robert, and I'm a liberty-loving dad of 3 kids.
Okay, I'd love to see the browser history.
If you're anything like me, you know how hard it is to find age-appropriate, liberty-oriented reading material.
Yeah, right.
And that's what makes the Tuttle Twins so awesome.
See, the fucked up thing is, it's not like there is a shortage of right-wing propaganda for kids. The fucking school system, apart from the school system, the children's books are full of fucking right-wing propaganda. I mean, they're just full of just bullshit about U.S. history. I mean, you have hagiographies of George Washington that would make Kim Il-sung blush. Okay. So, I mean, it's not hard to find right-wing propaganda for kids. It's hard to find anything other than right-wing propaganda for kids, in fact. So, I mean, we're talking about parents who see the normal right-wing bullshit that companies come up with and just fill the children's sections of libraries and bookshops with, and say, no, that's not reactionary enough. Where's the anti-Semitism?
property rights and plunder.
Oh, where we learn that property rights are the result of plunder, I assume. I mean, because we wouldn't be the right wing think tank that doesn't want to disclose its funding wouldn't be lying to the kids.
And the unintended consequences of government meddling in the marketplace. And the best part of it all is that they love reading these books. They're just great books.
Yeah. Yeah, they get, oh. And everybody's apparently, I love how, look at this book. See, they love their books so much that they're not looking at their books. The little girl on the one side, she hasn't even got her book open. And on the other side, she's not even looking at her book on the law. Instead, they're looking at the anti-Semitic book in the middle there.
The Tuttle Twins series makes my job.
What kind of creature can steal from you, it says on the back. Yeah, let me just show you that. You might have missed it. I mean, where? Come on, roll back a little bit further, damn it. Yeah, see, if you look at the top on the back of the creature from Jekyll Island, it says, let me see. Oh, okay. Yes, what kind of creature can steal from you? So, I mean, this is a guy who believes in international banker bullshit, recommends Nazi-ass documentaries, so-called, about the international bankers conspiracy. I'm sure that there's nothing objectionable going to be in a book about the origin of the Fed.
The Tuttle Twins series makes my job as a dad so much easier. And I believe that it makes the world a better place because it teaches these important yet often overlooked principles.
Hi, my name is Cassandra, and I'm a mother of 3 small children in rural Arizona. Now, my husband and I are
Okay. So, like, not just urban Arizona racism here. We got the rural Arizona racism.
and we both believe in the philosophy of liberty, but when we have conversations, it often goes over our kids' heads. We have a hard time relating.
Well, yes, of course that often goes over your kids' heads. They're kids. Lots of things that grown people talk about go over kids' heads. That's such a nothing selling point.
Those principles back to them. And so we were terribly excited when the Tuttle Twins came out, and it makes these topics so relatable, perfect to their age groups. We have a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 2-year-old.
The 2-year-old still believes the shit. The 9-year-old and the 6-year-old are starting to have their
And
doubts.
all of them enjoy the Tuttle Twins books. They can each get
Oh, okay, why the fuck has she got money from the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe there? What the hell is that doing there? Okay, and then we've got a walking Liberty silver dollar coin. I actually used to have one of those. I used to collect coins a long time ago, so I recognize it. And then some other shit that's kind of out of focus. Is there better res on this? Let me see. Up to 720p. Yeah, that's as good as it gets. Maybe it'll focus in on it. But what the fuck's she doing? Okay. I immediately have my curiosity about this person that she happens to have a fucking Zimbabwean banknote just lying around.
And so, as a parent, it has really made things easier for us to.
Oh, so he's got the law and she's got tomatoes. I mean, that. I'll take the tomatoes too. I mean, if those are my choices.
Philosophies and ideas with them, and we look forward to every new Tuttle Twins book that comes out.
Hey, my name is Tobin. I'm a dad of 3 kids.
I immediately have my doubts about this guy just because he's called fucking Tobin. Who names their people that?
Be watching my children begin to enjoy reading.
Oh, look, she's just laughing her ass off at the one about the anti-Semitic conspiracy theory.
At the same time, learn valuable concepts they may not be learning in school. For the Tuttle Twins, I had about given up about getting a children's series to help me teach my kids about good economics and history.
And you just eventually gave up on it and decided to find the shittiest books you could get.
Tuttle Twin series have
This is like the bong cloud of books about fucking history and economics.
realized that even adults can learn from children's books.
My name is Sarah, and I'm a mom of 3 kids with number 4 on the way. I love how quickly my kids can pick up the lessons in the Tuttle Twins.
All of these people have such flat affects, they do not seem genuinely enthusiastic.
That they pick up these moral absolutes so easily, like wrong is wrong no matter what.
Yeah. Okay, if wrong. Okay, so is trying to hide your funding sources from the general public in order to mislead them about who you actually represent, is that wrong or is that right? See, I think you'll find that pretty much everyone over the age of 2 gets the idea that there's something called wrong. They may. The point isn't wrong is wrong. It's what wrong fucking is to begin with and what right is. And, yeah.
And they love to learn from these characters in the book. It makes my job so much easier to be able to teach them these things that are so important to us as a family. And because these books are
Okay, maybe it's just that my, like, bandwidth or something, but her lips aren't matching her words.
so compatible with our morality that we already teach at home, they serve as an expansion to ideas that my kids already understand.
Wait, okay, so... no, we gotta slow this down a little. Playback speed. Get this into 0.25 because I want to see if we can get anything interesting off of that. Just showing little... fucking hell. That it? Schon vorbei der Scheiß? Yeah, anscheinend. Okay, well, it's 1 a.m., so that's it for me. Nobody having to join me, but I also started late, that's fine. So I got some good content. I'll be cutting that together. I'll release that around, maybe in advance of releasing the video I'm working on. And have a good night.